All hail the Clicks crew! Alright guys, today we're taking a look at another exclusive preview for the ROC maps. This is going to be the State Championship match. Those are in April, so make sure to keep an eye out on the ROC webpage for that stuff. So thank you Realms Open Championship for allowing me to do these exclusive previews for my audience, and also just to get an advanced look at them. So this one is called Aporthetos Temple, I think is how you say that. Aporthetos Temple. So this is going to be the top 4 map. So you're not going to be able to buy this or anything like that. You're going to have to win it. But don't worry, we're going to be doing some team builds and stuff like that to help you guys out. But it looks like a pretty cool map, so let's go ahead and dive in, and I'll let you see some of the highlights and features of this map. So this is the map, and as you can see, it looks pretty cool. And it's got actually a lot more blocking terrain than I initially thought when I was starting to look at it, trying to get the mental juices ready for this preview. So you have your standard starting areas. So you've got your one down here, and then you've got your one on your lettered side. No big deal, really, nothing too exciting there. No features. I see that I'm clipping off the corners a little bit in my preview screen, but there's no hindering or anything like that in those corners, so there's nothing really to worry about. It's just clear terrain. There is blocking terrain, so I'll highlight where those are for you. So there's some blocking terrain there, and that's these bush-looking things, trees, I guess, that are here on the sides. So you've got blocking terrain there. You've got a square blocking terrain right there, 2 squares there. Square here, square here, square here, and then you can see how it's going around, and basically some dots and dashes, which is pretty cool. And then in the middle, this is just water terrain, so hindering for movement purposes. And as you can see, that is quite a lot of blocking terrain, and that's in addition to a bunch of the other terrains that are going on in this map. They're really cool, but so this is outdoor blocking, so if you have a colossal figure or something like that, characters will be able to see over it and to you and stuff like that. So something to consider there. However, if you're standard size, you are able to make use of some of these blocking terrains. So let's go ahead and get rid of all my yellow highlights. And so we've got that. Then you've got a bunch of hindering terrain that is all at the base of this elevation. So you come out of your starting area, and you have a bunch of different ways to get up there. So here we'll show you the entry points, and it goes from level 1 to level 2. So this is elevated. This isn't it's not like a bowl shape. It's definitely a hump. So you've got a bunch of different ways to get up there. So you do have this nice bit of elevated right dead center of the map that can work nice for some blocking. There's I don't know what other people call it. I always just kind of call it ring around the rosy, where you have a chance at just sort of working around the outskirts there, and you can try to either bait your opponent into occupying this elevated, or you can try to cut the elevated off so that you can get to them. Just some positioning things that you can do there, which are pretty cool. And then there is water terrain, and it's in your starting area, and also on top of the elevated terrain, which is pretty cool there. So we've got water terrain there. This is a very symmetrical map, which, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Just something to take note of. So that if you lose map and your opponent selects this, there doesn't appear, at least to me, looking at this map, an advantage of picking the lettered side or the non-lettered side. It all seems to be basically the same, or basically the same. It is the same, but you've got a fair amount of water terrain. There's a bunch of figures that water terrain helps, and that's the thing that I think is pretty cool about this. I mean, other than obscuring and the doors, this basically has all the types of terrain. So this would be really a good map for somebody like Absorbing Man, if you want to think about that. But the last little bit is there is hindering terrain. And we'll just do some X's over this stuff so that we get it real quick. But as you can see, basically between the stairs to get up is 2 squares of hindering terrain, which are just there. So a little place where you could hide for stealth. However, they're not really in any place where you can shoot. You're not getting a lot of real estate with them, because if you're, for example, like over on this side and you're using this bit of hindering terrain, basically you can shoot down this way on that. So it's ABC on line C, forwards and backwards the whole map, and then other than that, you're just kind of between squares. I believe that's 6 and 13. That might be, no, it's got to be more than that. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, square 19. But you know, so you're just kind of shooting in there. So there's not really a lot of places to take advantage of it. And then same thing if you're in, you know, basically one of the sides facing the starting areas. Again, you're basically going coast to coast right there, but you can't really do too much front to back unless you have improved targeting ignores elevated. There are some characters that have that, but seems like it's kind of rare. You can get improved movement ignores elevated, but improved targeting ignores elevated seems to be a little bit harder to come by unless you're a colossal, at which point you know, there's other problems, quote unquote, that would go along with that, because you can have lines of fire drawn to you from basically anywhere on this map. But for standard figures, I think this is really cool. I think this is a good map if you think that your opponents aren't going to have improved movement, improved targeting ignores elevated. You've got a lot of really cool approach angles with just all this blocking terrain, and the elevated that's here. I think the water terrain's a cool addition, and it's spaced out nicely so that you know, you can basically, if you have an Aquaman or Namor or something like that, you always have some squares of water terrain to put them in to get those bonuses that they basically all get at this point. A nice amount of blocking terrain to block lines of fire, and just a little sprinkle, you know, Salt Bay and some of the hindering terrain. Although, again, I don't think a stealth team, I don't think this is the map you pick with a stealth team, because it just has some, in my opinion, limited lines of fire for that. It doesn't mean it's bad. Like, if you had stealth and improved targeting ignores elevated, you know, something you could possibly do with this. But again, then there's also blocking terrain that's up there, that's something else to shoot over. But yeah, so you guys let me know what you think of this map. I think this is a really cool map. I'm going to be super happy to have the opportunity to win one. Make sure to check out the Realms Open Championship website and Facebook page, so that you can know when and where your state ROC Championship is. I will do my best to let you guys know when all that stuff is shored up. I know the one that I'm going to is basically already settled, so that'll be cool there. Again, thanks to ROC for allowing me to do these previews for you guys. Make sure to keep checking back for these map previews. The March map should be getting to me soon, so I can get a review for that. For you guys, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, give it a share. It really helps keep me motivated to make these videos, and also lets YouTube know, hey, other people might like them, and it lets the ROC see that there's a good response to them. So that's all I have for you guys today. As always, please remember that it's uncritical miss if you don't have probability control.